Hey guys, this is Dan Sobrano, and today I'm going to go over more on the subject of anchor punching. So I'm going to go over a few drills and show you how it's done. All right, and some people have had a little bit of questions on it, so I'm going to go over some of the things to help you to develop this power in your strike. All right, so stay tuned. All right, guys. So what I wanted to kind of go over is, as far as anchor punches, is learning how to roll your shoulder. Okay. A lot of guys, are tight on the shoulders, or they've never done that before. So this technique, you need to know how to get comfortable rolling your shoulders. And one of the things you want to do is, loosen up your shoulders and get them going like that. Obviously, rolling your shoulders one at a time, up and down, back, forward, will help. And another exercise that you can do that for a few minutes just to loosen up the shoulders and get them moving. The other thing you can do is you put your hands either together, your fist, okay, and you roll, okay, and you roll, you're pressing against your fist, and you roll, and you roll, okay, and that helps loosen up the scapula, because part of the rolling of the shoulders also entails using the scapula to help you go smoothly on that roll, okay, so you need to loosen up the scapula also when you're striking, okay. The other thing you want to do also, especially when you're throwing hooks, because you can roll your hooks, okay, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So what you want to do is roll your shoulders and roll them back, so you're rolling them inward and outward. I have a video that talks about elliptical punching, and it shows you how to use an exercise with bands to loosen up and strengthen up those shoulders, and also the little small tiny muscles of the shoulders to help you get strong and strengthen that strike, okay? So look for it on my YouTube channel and you'll be able to see it, okay? So once you're starting to loosen up those shoulders, the next thing you want to do, all right guys, is obviously start trying to strike your bag, get comfortable, all right, hitting the bag. Now, when you hit the bag, what you want to be aware of is keeping your hands in a diagonal position, okay? The diagonal position when you're striking somebody, especially for street fighting, is the most structurally sound and strongest position you can hit somebody with, okay? The body is not made with straight bones. They're all curved. And the diagonal punch, or the 45-degree punch, is ideal for that, for the way our bodies are made, okay? So hitting them with a vertical strike or a horizontal strike is not the optimum way to do it. Diagonal, it's the most easiest, it's the most simplest. When you are adrenalized, you're going to go into the lizard mindset, the caveman type striking, and they're going to strike at a diagonal because it flows and it's easy to throw, okay, when you're adrenalized. It's just basic, natural way of throwing a punch. And it's also, obviously, it's going to be the most strongest in structure as far as the bones and the muscles are concerned, okay? So to me, that's the best way to strike somebody, and that's the way I always do it, when I'm striking, is the diagonal fist. I always do the diagonal fist, all right? So loosen up those shoulders and adjust your fist in a diagonal position before you start hitting the bag, when you start learning how to do the anchor punch. All right, guys. Now, what I want you to do is when you're striking, all right, when you're striking and you're rolling, all right, remember, keep your fist in a diagonal position. The other thing you want to do is you want to sit slightly on your punch, not deep, just slightly, so you get that spring into your strike, okay? You want to be able to use your feet almost like you're doing calf raises, okay? As you come down, you drop your weight into the strike, all right? So that gives you more weight into your punch, especially when you're coming down on the individual. If you can also stay semi-flat-footed and still get off with the movement, but if you really want to get more power in your strike, especially if you're smaller, you kind of get on the balls of your feet slightly and just drop into your punch, whatever it may be, when you strike, okay? So you just want to just synchronize the drop with the strike, the roll of the strike, when you hit the individual on impact, okay? So, understanding that, the next thing I want you to do is your shoulders, you raise them slightly, not way, way too high, but just slightly off the shoulder girdle right here. Just slightly raise them, so that gives you that range to be able to roll your shoulder and the scapula when you're striking. Okay, so it looks like this. So you roll and you drop. Okay, you roll and you drop. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to go, when you anchor punch, you want to be able to roll and drop your weight into the strike when you're throwing it, all right? So this is one way to develop more power when you're throwing that strike, just rolling, okay? Rolling the shoulders, raising the shoulder girdle slightly up, and then dropping the weight being synchronous with the strike, and being able to drop the weight on impact, okay? This is what you want to do, okay? Doesn't take very much, okay? And as you do this and get comfortable with it, you're going to find that you're going to be able to hit harder and deeper and penetrate more into your target, okay? The other thing you want to do is, while you're doing that, you want to tilt your torso, upper torso, slightly in the direction that on the opposite direction that you're striking, okay? If you look at, for instance, when you're screwing a screw into the wall, you don't just stand there straight ahead and screw it. You lean slightly and then you screw the screw into the wall. And the reason why is because when you lean, you get more muscles contracting, makes it more stronger and stable. And when you're twisting it in there, it makes it stronger when you're screwing in that screw. Okay? If you were just to stand straight up and screw it like this, it just takes a lot of energy and it's hard and it's weak. All right? So when you're throwing, it's the same thing when you throw. Look at tennis players. They don't just swing the racket straight and hit it. They lean as they throw the racket and hit the ball. Okay? Same thing with a baseball player. When they line up for the pitch and they throw it, they lean and they throw. Okay? That gives them more power because more muscles contract when they lean slightly. So you want to do the exact same thing when you're striking. You want to lean slightly. Okay? When you're throwing the strike. Okay? And it'll give you more power and more energy when you hit somebody. All right? So those are the little tips that you need to know when you're using this anchor punch. Okay? So again, rolling the shoulders slightly off the main scapula here. Okay? Using off the cervical. Cervical? No, the scapula, you want it to roll. You want it to roll. All right? So as you're rolling it, okay, you raise the shoulder slightly to be able to hit. You want to keep it on the vertical, okay? When you're striking downward, you want to be able to drop slightly your weight by being on the balls of slightly on the balls of your feet and dropping when you're throwing the strike, okay? And obviously, once you do that, as you roll, okay, like I said, keeping the fist diagonal as you strike is going to help you, and it's going to bring it a long ways to be able to give you a lot of power to be able to penetrate into your opponent and anchor him into the ground so that he can't move. Okay, so try that out and see what you think. All right, guys. Now, what I'm going to show you now is the hook or the rotational way of throwing that strike as far as anchor punching is concerned. What you want to do, again, you want to roll your shoulder, but the way you're going to roll it is in a horizontal plane. Okay, you're going to roll it. You're not going to go up and down. You're going to roll it laterally. Okay. You're going to roll it inward when you throw your strike. You're not going to pull your arm back and then throw, because there's no reason for that. Okay? A lot of guys, when they throw their hooks, they pull back, they turn their body, they stay open too much, and that's not good, especially when you find close. So what you want to do is you want to keep your elbows, always keep your elbows in front of your hip, okay? So that when you turn and throw, it's right there, it doesn't leave that much of a gap, and they can't see what you're going to do. There's no tell, okay? It's very hard to see the tell. Anyways, so what you're going to do is when you turn your body slightly, you're going to roll your shoulder, okay? As you roll your shoulder, obviously you're going to drop your weight, okay? And then you roll your shoulder, okay, laterally, and you hit the opponent or the target, okay? So it's going to be like this. Okay, so I just turned and rolled, dropped my weight. Okay, keeping the fist diagonal Because if you keep them the other ways, either the vertical or horizontal, it's going to be hard on your hand, and you're going to twist yourself. Keep it in a diagonal, and it's the most natural way of throwing it, and it's easy on the hand, and it's structurally very sound, and the most strongest you can do. Also, you're going to hit harder if you keep it in that position, okay? That's why I always advocate guys, especially for street fighting, keep your fist diagonal. You're going to be more harder striker, and you want to take them out as quickly as you can. So that's the best optimum position to have your fist in when you're fighting, okay? So again, I'm turning my body slightly, keeping my elbow in front of my hip, okay? This will speed it up. I don't need to pull it back because my body turning helps me kind of, I call it hidden distance, so I'm winding up as I turn, and as I roll my shoulder, okay? It's almost like I'm doing this, but it's right in here without that much of a movement, okay? So they can't tell, it's hard to see it, but by the time they feel it before they see it, okay? So by the time they look at it, it's already on them, all right? So you're gonna be sitting on your punch, okay? And you're gonna roll your shoulder slightly in front of the hip, okay? You can also do it on the left hand, okay? Same thing, you just turn your body, okay? And then roll the shoulder. All right? As you do this, okay, you're going to be able to hit viciously to the body, to the head, wherever you choose to throw that punch. When you're striking it, guys, let yourself go, man. Let it go. You're going to be balanced. Even if you miss, you're still in balance because the shots are short. They're not elongated, okay? So they're going to be short. The good thing about punching in a diagonal position is both the muscles on the top of your forearm and the bottom, the pronators and the supinators, supinators, are both going to be in a strong position, okay? And that'll give you a very solid foundation when you strike the bag. If you turn your hands over, okay, the supinators down here will be tight, pronators will be relaxed and stretched. So you can't have half your muscles stretched and relaxed and the other half tight. It's going to be, you have 50% less power, okay? If you have your hand up, then it's the other way. The pronators are tight, supinators they're tight, and the supinators are going to be loose. Again, 50% less power. But if you keep it at the diagonal, they're both flexed. So it gives you a more stronger base to strike with. Your bones, the ulna, radial bones, are in optimum position when you strike. The wrist and the elbows are in solid position so that when you hit the bag, the arm is able to take impact and it doesn't cause there's no weaknesses in that area, okay? So, again, rolling, keeping your fists in diagonal plane, okay? Dropping your weight, keeping your shoulders slightly lifted. I mean, you don't have to be all like Igor style, just keep it slightly so you can get that roll. And keeping your fists in front of your hips, okay? So these are the ways that you'll be able to score very powerfully with your hooks, doing it with the anchor punch. And again, you'll anchor them. If anything, you're gonna knock them out. So try this out and see what you think. All right, guys, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have one of our students, Emillio, everybody, and I'm gonna have him do the elliptical or the anchor punching. This is more anchor punching. I want him to hit the back so that I can point out what he's doing, how to do it and everything. He's new to this, so he's getting really good at it. So I just want you guys to see how it's done from a beginner's point of view, okay? So watch and learn, and hopefully you'll understand what he's doing. That's why I made this new video, so that you guys can get the little pointers and little tips that I didn't put on the first one, okay? So I'm gonna have him go ahead and hit elliptical. And anchor, there you go. Okay, now I want you to sit. There you go. Roll the shoulders. Okay, see how he's rolling the shoulders, guys? And as he's hitting, okay? When you hit somebody like this, they're gonna get stuck. They're gonna stick to the ground as he hits, okay? That helps you, gives you another chance to throw another strike or two before he tries to move, okay? So if he's a quick fighter, he's not gonna be that quick. Another thing's gonna happen if he's getting hit so much, he's gonna become what's called, he's gonna go into a fetal position and start wilting like a flower without even realizing, because the body will start shutting down, okay? Because it thinks it's in danger of getting killed, so it starts to shut down. Okay, good. Okay. All right, guys. Now what Emillio's going to do is he's going to throw his hooks, okay, in a rolling fashion. All right, the anchor style. All right. So hopefully watch and learn, and we'll pick up some of the things that he's doing. Okay, go ahead. Okay. Again, he's rolling his shoulders, dropping his weight as he throws his punches. Short hooks. The hooks he's throwing are more diagonal as opposed to horizontal. You can throw them horizontal if you choose to, but I like throwing it at the diagonal. The reason why is because they can't see it coming until it's too late. They'll feel it before they see it. Most likely, they'll knock them out. Okay? And shifting his weight from one leg to the other as he's throwing the strikes. If you hit somebody with one of these, you're going to be able to break ribs. You're going to knock the wind out of them, you're going to knock them out. Right? Depending on where you hit them. Okay, good. Okay, and so that is the anchor punching when you're throwing your hooks. Okay, specifically your diagonal hooks versus your horizontal hooks. All right, guys, we come to the end of the video, and I hope you liked the information on this video. I just want to go over a few things. Again, keeping your fists diagonal. When you roll, keep your shoulders slightly lifted to give you more of a roll on your strike. Help strengthen up your scapula and get it more looser by doing the scapula rotational exercises before you start punching. Also, dropping your weight off the strike. As soon as you make contact, you should be dropping your punch every time you hit. Keeping the elbows in front of your hip, okay? Not winding up, you don't need to wind up. Being able to drive through your target, okay, while you're throwing these strikes. The other thing, guys, is keeping your, like I said, keeping your hands in front of your hips, because every time you do that, you'll be able to strike harder. All right? So until next time, this is Daniel Sombrano telling you, don't just hit them, punch a hole through them. Take care, and we'll talk to you later. Goodbye.